We had Unseen Forces, which had Pokeballs in the background of those reverse holos. So you tilt it and you just see all these 3D Pokeballs just popping up in the background of the card. And it's like, where are those reverse holos now? Even we go back at Sun and Moon, which is the last generation, and those reverse holos were better than current generation, arguably anyway. They had a much nicer design language to them that kind of felt like Sword and Shield was, I like the Pokemon that was in Sword and Shield. I actually, one of the generations that I appreciated a lot more Pokemon in it. But I did find that from a cards perspective, Pokemon dropped the ball.
All right, hello, my name is Darcy. Welcome back to the Palms Off Gaming podcast. Today I'm joined with my Anstar.
G'day, how we doing?
Yeah, very good, man. How are you?
Good, mate. Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on board. Now, excuse me if I am a bit slow today or a little bit less animated. I did get off a flight and didn't get to bed until about 2:30 in the morning, and I was up at 7. So I'm running off very minimal sleep. So I might be a little bit more washed out today. But yeah, today we're just here to talk about, I guess, what you do, plug some of our stuff as well, and new products that are coming out. Go ahead on over to palmsoffgaming.com.au to check out your TCG accessories and shamelessly plug your Twitch.
Yeah, look, we break on Twitch, twitch.tv/Anstar_, 3 times a week. Outside of that, we've got, different events around special events, seasonal events or big box breaks.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And you stream really commonly, like quite frequently, and they're long ones too. So there's a couple that are like, 8-7 hours and like probably not much longer. But it's a lot of work that you put in, and it's quite frequently in which you do put out that content. So good job for being super involved and continuing that involvement. I think that maybe that, and obviously, to your personality as to why you are so insanely popular to a certain degree.
I mean, I'm just passionate. So it's something that I've been doing I've been a Pokemon nerd or an anime fan for quite some time now. From Pokemon TCG per se. Specifically, I've played the game for about 15 years, probably stopped just before COVID, in fact. Really tapered down around the XY era as well. Personally, I found the game was actually flattening out, which I think a lot of people did find as well in the TCG space. They really had to shake up mechanics, which is why I'm excited for EX era coming back.
Yeah.
Because that's a solid era. That's so, for gameplay, that's going to make a lot of changes. Really excited. And you're right. Look, there are some streams out there which I've done, 15 hours plus. Obviously, if they're a special event, they've gone up to 24 hours. Doing the old trying to do the 24-hour streams. I think last one I got to 22, and they're like, "Go to bed, dude."
Yeah, I can imagine towards the end of it, you're just like almost delirious.
I was completely delirious, and I think I was probably about easily 12 beers in as well. Easily 12 beers in.
Yep.
And so I think we had some sort of donation goal or something, and one of the guys was like, "Look, I'm going to donate $300 right now for you to go to bed and end this stream." He goes, "Because we're feeling sorry for you right now, just watching you struggling, and you're looking like you're on your last legs, or you were a few hours ago." So, but look, I actually love it, dude. It is a lot of fun to just get out there and do what you enjoy.
Yeah, because you got a good energy about you. You're always like, I know every time I've seen you in person and seen you online and stuff, and all the conversations we've had on Messenger and stuff, they're always super positive, super friendly, obviously very, very approachable. So it's fantastic. And it's been fantastic to get on board and meet you at events as well and get to know you as a person. So yeah, thank you. And thank you for doing what you do. It's fantastic.
Appreciate it. And, big fan of the Palms Off product, when I first came across, from binders to sleeves and the grading sleeves, for crying out loud, which was very, very, very well needed. We've just, from my opinion, we've just got to support local. It's an incredible product. The stuff that you guys do for the scene and the industry, I think here in Australia, is really important. So that's something that I completely appreciate. I think we need to be doing a lot more of in the scene. We really need to be looking at what are we doing here. And how can we continue to support that and grow that?
Yeah, because we found that there hasn't been a lot of other brand involvement in the Australian scene, because I feel like we get forgotten about a little bit because we're not a massive market Like we're not like, and that's why we started was, this has been on the podcast before, so I'm not going to go over it in too much detail, but we just don't have the supply and we don't have that pricing for the same or if not arguably what we would define as a better product. Yep. Obviously there's always going to be room for improvements. Yeah, and then that involvement. So, as a heads up, as a little bit of a tidbit of information for 2023 for us is going to be a lot more involvement with some of our physical wholesale fronts and all that sort of stuff for event related stuff, which we're keen to do. It's a really fine balance between sinking money into promotion and expanding a range to try and offer people more stuff. So I'm glad that yourself and I could sit here for hours and rattle off names of people in the community that have been on board with us since day one and continue to support us through thick and thin, even when they come back to us and be like, hey man, like what happened here? Like, have you changed manufacturing for this, or you've done this? This is what we've noticed. And I can take that information back, that constructive feedback back, and actually reassess everything. And that's a part of a growing brand. That's growing pains for you, man. So I really, 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 really appreciate the support from you and multiple other people for sticking with us and being on board for the ride. As a fellow collector myself as well, being around since 2016, 2017, collecting as well, I feel like a lot of people are rally behind it from that perspective as well. Yeah. So it's cool.
And the events have been awesome. So getting out to, we're getting a few more now as well, which is good. So these little card events and card fairs, things that 5 years ago, all we had was cricket and AFL trading card events, right? So there was just the one that went around Melbourne went around the country. I assume there was other ones in different states. The only trading card events we had were really purely based around AFL and cricket cards. I mean, you'd find the one stall, the one booth there that had, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any form of anime. But a lot of it, we just didn't have. You'd see overseas, and they've got Collecticon, and they've got all this crazy stuff, and we just sit there looking with awe. And yes, we get packs, but packs again was very, very limited in trading cards because it is mainly focused on gaming. And yes, you've got your tabletop area and so on and so forth. But I think it's cool seeing you guys, and you've got a really big presence there as well. And I think that's really important to be supporting these local events. Because again, if we don't have, organizations or businesses like yourself getting involved in these events, they're just not going to go anywhere and they're not going to grow. So I think that's really important that we continue to get involved in these events because I really want us to have a Collecticon, right? Yeah. I want us to get to the point where Collecticon USA and that Beckett's want to come down, the PSA want to come down to our, TCG events and do on-site grading like they do at Collecticon, some of that crazy stuff, I think. We've got the people here. We've got the passionate people. They just don't know us. They just don't know about us. So I think we've got to make enough noise and get the industry to see that Australia's big. Australia's on the map, and Australia loves TCGs just as much as everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe small, but we do have a lot of people that are super into their trading cards and super into their play and all that sort of stuff, which is fantastic. So I can only hope it continues to grow. And we're seeing it already. We're getting those new events popping up as well. And I know Hobby Hangout are doing more frequent events as well.
Spot on.
So we'll obviously see you again at the Melbourne one. Cool. We're taking a few tables out this time, a few more than last time. So again, this has come up on a previous podcast for anybody listening, but meeting people in person as well, not people that I've just chatted to like online. Seeing their name and then meeting them in person. It's just awesome to put like that tonality to someone, and actually meeting the person for who they are, not just via sort of a written message. It carries so differently.
Spot on. So I mean, IRL is less scripted, right? So I always say you've got a lot more time and thought that can go into a message, whilst you see a person, in front of you when okay, this is who they are. This is raw. So very cool. Which kind of like this podcast, right?
Yeah. We just go in. We don't even really do much about it. We just like go in, meet the person. Obviously we've met before, so it's very, very easy. But a lot of them is just like, quick chat for 10 minutes and let's just get down to it sort of thing. Which is good. And people hang around after. I might have a beer if they want to. Don't know if we have any in the fridge. Hopefully we do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, sweet.
already hit him up first to make sure that was going to happen. So
back on you and like and we're going to focus on your journey for a little bit. So you're up to like 3,500 followers now, which is for an Australian, persona in the card scene's quite impressive. It's, I would imagine, one of the bigger ones. And I reckon, as I said before, like I think that one of the main reasons is A, your content, but B, your personality, being very bubbly, very entertaining, very friendly. So what do you think credited that sort of success to you streaming?
Look, this is a tough one. I think, and I do I do try and get a lot of feedback from the community to try and see, okay, especially when we're planning, 2023 and beyond, what do they want to see more of? What was it that drew them to this community? And I keep using the word community because that's exactly what we've created here. It's purely a place for people to go, be like-minded, share ideas, banter around, different ideas and discuss, thoughts around whether it's Pokemon or an upcoming TCG. I think it's not all just about Pokemon as well. We've got a lot of TCGs that are hitting the market. We've got a lot of animes now that are being produced into trying to replicate that success of Pokemon. One Piece, for example, the world's biggest anime, is now stepping into that TCG space.
That's the Bandai are doing
that,
right?
And that's Bandai.
So that quality is there too.
Spot on. That quality that we've always wanted from Dragon Ball to kind of, for Pokemon to see what's coming out of Dragon Ball from those secret rares and those SPRs. And we're like, damn, Pokemon, take a leaf out of Bandai's book. So seeing them come out and do One Piece, which is huge, that's pretty epic. And I think just keeping on top of that, speaking to the community about, what's coming out, just being passionate about it, knowledgeable, and making sure that we're giving everybody information, because information is power and information is key right now. If you don't have information, especially during the COVID period when we probably saw most of our growth.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people did.
Crazy.
Right? Yeah. During that time, it was really about, okay, product's hard to get. How do we make sure you're not going to get burnt when you're buying, right? How do we make sure that people can find products, So one of the biggest things in our community is, people band together to go, okay, I found this product in this location, and they'll share it in our Discord community. If something's on sale, very first thing in the morning, like this morning when I woke up, I looked at Discord, I went into the deals section, I'd seen a couple of guys that posted, oh, these guys have now put certain product lines on sale. So it's just, giving information, understanding where it's been. A lot of people are new into the scene, so a lot of people want to know what's happened. I've just joined. I'm just jumping in. What has the last 5 to 10 years been like? We're coming into the 25th anniversary. What was the 20th anniversary like? What was the 15th year anniversary like? And I think that really added to having that information and speaking to, and speaking to it. I think that definitely helps, at least giving you some sort of level of, of care for everybody and going, all right, I know what's going on, I know how to help you at least with these things. And then we journey through it together. I mean, they see me get burnt lots of times, or not as much burnt, but just go out and, buy a vintage pack and go, let's rip it. And I end up with 2 energy cards in it, right? So, my hit was an energy card. It's like, yay. And it happens. We opened up a Holland Phantoms booster pack 2 weeks ago. Everybody egged me into doing it. And we've got a little point redeem system where you can throw your channel points, which you earn just by watching the channel, and you can throw 100,000 points at watching me burn money, basically. Go find something expensive and open it. It's pretty crazy. I mean, we opened up Holland Phantoms, which goes for about $900 these days. And literally,
that was a 6 set.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, I remember not even 2 years ago, even a year ago on stream, ripping them. And, and I'm in my mind when I was ripping them, like, these are $300 packs. And then, just a month or two ago, someone's like, oh, I've got some Holland Phantoms. Do you want one? I'm like, sure. And then he sends me the bill. It's like $900. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. These are tripled in price. So I'm like, well, I've already committed to it, so I'll take it.
As rough as, yeah.
and like, I literally remember not even a year ago. I remember, we do the old waffle as well to get some products out into the community where they can buy a ticket. So it's a cheap rate. We divide like a bigger product. And we'll divide it out into smaller bits so people can try and win the product. And, we did that the same with some Holland Phantom packs back last year. And I remember, they'll free at $30 by 10,
Yeah.
So to just see, something like Holland Phantoms go up so crazily. But as I said, it's a 6 set, right?
They're good looking cards.
Yeah.
I just remember the Mewtwo one with they do the stamps on that for the reverses and
stuff.
The
Mewtwo reverse.
Yeah.
Yep.
I miss the reverse stamps.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the biggest things. I remember I went through a phase where I was just collecting like reverses from those older sets that just had the stamps on them. Because I'm like, these are just sick. They're cool.
That was the real EX era. And that's technically it's the era we're heading back into. I know there's a little bit of confusion because there's a capital EX, which is the 2015, 2016 EX cards.
They're all lowercase now.
Yeah, they're all lowercase, which is the ones from early 2000, the EX era. But spot on, those reverses through that EX era, you had Holland Phantoms, and then you had Team Rocket Returns, which had, the energy symbols in the background, very similar to, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Hidden Legends, which had those energy symbols in the background. Or then we had Unseen Forces, which had Pokeballs in the background of those reverse holos. So, you tilt it and, you just see all these 3D Pokeballs just popping up in the background of the card. And it's like, where are those reverse holos now? Even we go back as Sun and Moon, which is the last generation, and those reverse holos were better than current generation, arguably. Anyway, they had a much nicer design design language to them that I kind of felt like Sword and Shield was, I liked the Pokemon that was in Sword and Shield. I actually one of the generations that I appreciated a lot more Pokemon in it. But I did find that from a cards perspective, Pokemon dropped the ball.
Yeah, right.
I know you've ripped a lot of Dragon Ball. You like Dragon Ball, and you can tell from that right now, like the quality and the detail and the effort that went into those cards versus what the biggest chase coming out of Pokemon. It wasn't there until we got Alt Arts really, which was Battle Styles. So prior to then. We're chasing rainbows, right? That was what the Chonky the rainbow Chonky which was $1,000 at the time, right? Yeah. I can tell you, I opened up an absolute ton of that and never pulled it for myself, and it was a rainbow Pikachu. And now you just don't see many people appreciating rainbows.
Yeah, like I remember when they came out, I was like, oh, it's cool. But like when you do come out with those sort of rainbow art, you do lose a lot of design elements. It's just very plain.
Yep.
When they sprinkled it in ages ago with like that, the Silver Dialga cards. That was really, really cool.
Yeah,
I really appreciated that because it was just one or a couple sprinkled in.
Yeah.
I think Reshiram was gold, right? So it was like sort of just sprinkled in. It wasn't like every hyper area is like this, So I think and being rainbow, it's cool. It's pearlescent and stuff, but because it's so common, you lose those certain design elements and mixed textures. And I think they've got some mixed textures, but you can't really fully appreciate the art, in my opinion.
Yep.
Whereas with some of the newer cards that are coming out, you have to give it to them in the sense that there's varying textures, a lot of different varying textures on arts. And I love what they did with the shiny ones where it's just, the actual Pokemon is textured and all that sort of stuff. There's, they've got certain things going for them that, Dragon Ball don't, but I think that the overall build quality holistically for the sets, Dragon Ball are crushing it, because even on the rear of the cards, like black's a really brave color to work with.
Yep.
We're pretty brave here at Pond Love Gaming.
Yeah.
Because like you can easily see like any imperfections on the back of the card. The whole back of their card is fully like pretty much all black, right? Except for the edging.
Yep.
Smart.
Yep.
Smart by the people of Dragon Ball. It's a grey, whitey, grey, like washed out edging.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the black you can easily see dents. You can easily see like specks, and they came out with ages ago with the issue with the signature cards with the foil on the back.
Yep.
And I remember that whole area where people were trying to like sort of hide the knowledge that could be cleaned off.
Yes.
And it was like, you don't want to gatekeep that. People selling it. It's got specks on the back, and that's why they were trying to get rid of it. It's like, I can't, it's not going to get a 10. I'm like, you can clean them off.
Yep.
And people like just snapping them up saying, sell it to me and it'll LP or whatever. It's like, no, you can clean it and bring it up brand new again.
Spot on.
So there was that bit of gate-kept knowledge, which obviously, leaning back into what you were talking about how you carry yourself on your streams. Obviously, you're not gatekeeping knowledge. You're actually there passionately to spread awareness and spread knowledge and education, and not for your own self-benefit.
Spot on.
So, like, I believe, like, you can't gatekeep information and then expect to be a popular source of information.
Exactly right.
I think because you're carrying yourself in that way, and extreme transparency and respect for other people, I think that's primarily why I think one of the reasons why you will be quite popular. So, well done for being genuine and actually being a good person in the community.
look,
a trustful source.
Look, I mean, it should be something that's expected, right? I mean, it shouldn't be something that is really rewarded these days. But I mean, we were talking about Joe Rogan earlier. I mean, and he covers that off, right? So, I actually recently watched one of his podcasts where he's like, it's a shame that we celebrate right now when someone does something good. It's like, it's unexpected. Why have we gotten to the point where we're not expecting people to do the right thing, right? But yeah, gatekeeping information is crazy. And I think that's you're spot on. I mean, even today, we just put up a post this morning going, guys, again, don't stress around evolving skies. We've just got confirmation.
Keep going with it.
Yeah, we've just got confirmation the US has got their reprint. They got their allocation, the distributor. We're waiting for the Australian distributor to hopefully get their allocation shortly. Don't stress. And, it's that kind of information that we hope to share. When Celebration UPCs first dropped, we actually got over 30 out to our community at cost price.
Good man. Yeah.
And it's just, whoever missed out, it's let us know, we'll get that out to you guys. It's making sure that the right people are getting the products, not the people that are just going to go put them on the shelf again. Right.
Tell you some of who are some of the real heroes of the community. I see it somewhat frequently actually, is that you'll see two specs of people, the people that'll go to Kmart with getting rid of Skies, for example, and people go in and clean out Roaring Skies and try to sell it for a profit. And then you've got the people that are like, we'll buy them all.
Yes.
Right. Bring them in their community and be like, cool, I got them how much I paid them for. I want to keep 10. I've got another 100 and I'm going to limit you guys to X amount because I just want to get it to the people that want it. Who wants an art set? Same price.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm just like, I love you as a person. Like, I don't need any more of those, but like, you're fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. Never change. Heart of gold sort of situation. And it makes my heart so warm seeing that because, like, not everybody, it's remote people as well that are not accessible to some particular stores. Yeah, they're just the legends of the community. I love seeing it. It's fantastic. And we're seeing more and more and more of it. Obviously, more on the other end of the spectrum as well. But it really highlights that sort of divide and that mental mindset where people are at. Which is really cool.
That's spot on, dude. I literally saw one just recently where he's regional and he's like, guys, I actually just came across all of these. And he's like, I'm happy to pass it on to you guys. Just hit me up. And I'm literally just passing on. So I think he found 170 blisters, and he's like, I'm just passing it on to you guys. I've kept, I think he kept 20 or something. He's like, let me know, and
that's all I need.
It's just crazy. I mean, and that's the kind of stuff that's awesome to see. And what I hope is you keep doing that, and other people keep passing it on, and everyone else starts. The community blew up really quickly. It grew really quickly over COVID, and it's just now just getting everyone to appreciate each other within that community right now and understand that there's enough for everybody really to enjoy. I think that's pretty important. And and for anyone listening, if that's you come across it, congratulations on the back to anyone that's actually doing that.
Actually encourage them. And everybody does typically, but like for those who maybe are a little bit more introverted and don't want to comment on stuff, like just let them know that they're doing God's work. Like hit them up, tell them like, thank you for actually putting your bid in as well. And a lot of people are pretty cool as well. Like they'll post be like, hey, unfortunately I wasn't able to get, so-and-so, won't name drop any brands or anything. So-and-so's cancelled my order because they didn't get allocation. That's not their fault. It's distribution cost, and we'll come around to that in a tick as well. But and people are generally pretty good to put up their hand and be like, hey, I ordered two. I don't want one. Just give me the same amount that I paid for it. Have fun. And that's sick. That's so good to see. So,
The people that are taking everything really and trying to hold it all are probably probably the same group of people that are doing it constantly. So, you're talking about, the same, it is a small pocket of people. And they're probably just the noisiest ones because they're just it's always the same group, but they're probably also being outweighed by the guys that are actually doing the right thing as well, because it is such a big community that the ones that are taking it off the shelves are really just a smaller pocket of people that are doing it.
So the more against the grain ones are typically the loudest because then it yields the largest reaction as well. So when people found that within a lot of communities, and particularly the ones that are online for Pokemon and trading cards, they're obviously all by vast majority, very passionate people. So like they're very quick to call out like price gouging or something like that, which is sick. I'm like, just make sure they call them out, be like, hey, look, sell it for what you want. But for everybody reading this and thinking about that this is a good idea, here's a good alternative. I'm not against absolutely ripping into them, but like just calling it how it is and being like, do what you want to do. If that's your ethics as an individual, look, you do you. I'm not going to change you as another random person on the internet, but bit of education for everybody else that's reading this. Just head over here.
Yeah.
Like they'll sort you out. You know, it's really really cool. So and as we grow with like cons and all that sort of stuff, as we grow and get bigger as a country too, I'm praying for more distributors. Because there needs to be that element of competition.
Yeah,
competition is good.
Or the other distributor needs to pick up this product. So
and that obviously may not be their fault either. There's all supply chain issues and manufacturing and all that sort of stuff. Where again, we're a small sort of subset of the people that collect these cards, right? There's bigger markets at the end of the day. The people that make these cards are a business. They need to make money, but that element of competition is good. It needs to happen as long as it's healthy competition and there's no fights and all that sort of stuff. That's cool. I believe in professionalism, so as long as they do that, then no dramas. And I'm very, very keen to see that transpire because at the moment there's only one avenue.
Yes. And I completely agree. And I think everyone's crying out for other, we've got a couple of disties in Australia that do cards. It'd be great if the other disty would, the other main disty in Australia would pick up Pokemon to at least challenge the status quo. From customer service where you've just got one avenue, and you probably want to improve upon that. If you've just got one company doing the same product over and over again, and they're the only place to go to, they're never going to improve. You're never going to challenge the status quo. You're never going to challenge them. They're never going to grow. They're never going to improve. They're happy doing what they're doing. And so I think it deserves a bit of challenge there. But just going back on what we just said before, actually about people, price gouging the community, picking up on that. I was laughing when you said that because we do have a little section in our Discord where screenshots are taken of people that are listing stuff.
Cool, man.
and are listing it, pretty exorbitant. I mean, straight away when the Costco products dropped the other day. Look. So we've got I may have been someone that was going around taking screenshots as well.
As a little bit of a recap for the people that are watching this, might not know what the Costco thing is. They released a tin and ETB, and it was mixed in with was it Battle Styles?
So you either had Chilling Reign or Evolving
Chilling
Skies.
Reign, that's the one, or Evolving Skies. And Chilling Reign is one of those sets that people are just like, and then Evolving Skies, everyone's like,
Yeah.
So everybody would go into Costco, and they were like $74.95 or something like that. They were really reasonably priced. So people would go in, shred it full of the Evolving Skies ETB ones, and then just come online, split it, or sell, or just blindly just be like, yep, nah, it's in the wrapper still, and you know it's from Costco.
There was a picture in the trolley, man.
Wait, man. They're like, sell it now, sell it now. So just go home and like take an actual picture of it. You're so impatient, like it's just massive red flag. So people are trying to price gouge that. So there was a full thread of that. That's So I saw it everywhere.
I think the last person we posted up, he was trying to get like $200 for it.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Just a casual 3x essentially. That's so ridiculous.
It was insane. So we do maybe have that section, and I do play into that a bit sometimes.
I think if you're going to be doing it at like 200 though, like
you deserve to get caught.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you sell it for like 90 or whatever, it's reasonable. Like you could probably argue the fact, there's a finder's fee, yada yada.
Time and effort.
Yeah, time and effort, all that sort of stuff. But like that's just ridiculous. That's like nah. Like, I'm not even going to compare it to anything. I don't want to offend anyone, but like, it's just like, that's just ridiculous. I didn't see the 200. I didn't say go up that high, but that's ridiculous.
No, this wasn't on a group. This was just in Marketplace. I woke up.
All the dodgy stuff happens on Marketplace.
I woke up on the weekend and I'm just like, I opened up Marketplace as usual, and it's filled with Pokemon for me, and Star Wars. And so I looked at him like, wait, is this guy seriously asking for that much? And yeah, he was, and he had piles. He had like stacks of it as well. So,
so frustrating.
It's crazy, but again, good thing about keeping on top of information is as soon as you see something like that, though, I went out, and so as soon as I saw it was there, went out. Unfortunately, there was none left. But hey, I took Chilling Reign. I took a couple of Chilling Reign. I'm actually a fan of Chilling Reign personally. It's got a lot of alt arts in that set. I think it's really underrated. So it's one of the sets I mastered for Sword and Shield era actually.
Yes,
so it had the Bird Trio for me. I mean, I'm obviously the Bird Trio originally. Yeah, and then we got the new version of the Bird Trio, and and Sword and Shield was probably the first game I had played since Black and White, maybe.
Yeah, right.
So I dare say Sword and Shield. I mean, played Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because that was, again, the Kanto region brought back. So I couldn't say no to that. I'm actually kind of excited for Let's Go Johto and Sinnoh, which is the next one's coming out. But yeah, there's a lot happening in that space. So I think there's a lot of games coming out as well from Pokemon. So it's right now it's also that balancing act as to which ones do I have time between work and streaming to actually.
I like they've done like the Let's Go versions, because it's like a lot of people, it's like mixed reviews on it and all that sort of stuff. But it was very accessible for like a younger audience, right?
Spot on.
Very accessible. But they've already remade it once.
Yep.
You can't remake it a third time and not change it drastically in one way, shape, or form. So I think with what they've currently got and the remakes and the demands, they've done the best with what they've got.
Yep.
I do hope they bring in the overworld catching for other future games, though.
Yep.
I think we discussed this on another podcast where, they took that away for Scarlet and Violet, which I was devastated about.
Yes.
So fingers crossed they bring that back.
So when you say overworld catching, you mean as in they're spawning in the overworlds?
They're spawning in the overworld for
Scarlet,
Violet and Scarlet, but like actually being able to sneak around and throw a ball.
Oh, right, yes. The one that they did in Arceus Legends, so without having to go through the encounter.
Correct,
Yeah, okay.
So I liked it. When
cool.
you got the bigger ones that you had to fight them most of the time.
Yeah.
You had to fight them to like weaken them down and stuff. But, for those, just the ones that you just, bit of bang, done.
Yeah.
King Buduf, but
I completely agree there. I mean, that's why I do roll around with 100 quick balls. Because I'm trying to, you're trying to replicate
in Scarlet
that.
Violet,
You're trying to replicate that. So it's just like, as long as you've got your levels up, the quick balls are pretty quick. But again, you're right. I actually totally missed that. That was actually an element of Arceus Legends that I absolutely really enjoyed.
I loved it.
Crawl around and catch a Pokemon without having to go through that, that encounter. That takes a bit of time as well, that encounter.
A lot of time.
So, especially when you're trying to grind as well, say you're grinding for IVs or anything particular, it takes a lot of time. So, now look, I do enjoy the Let's Go series because it actually got one of my friends into Pokemon games that never really got into the series, never really got into the franchise, but they played Pokemon Go. So, playing Pokemon Go, you spin your ball to curve it and you throw it and so on and so forth. Very similar mechanics. I found that actually got people, okay, it's similar. It's going to get me into the game. They play the game. It brings them into Kanto again. I think the people that are complaining obviously are the purists. If you love the original games, you're going to not like the fact that you can't weaken the Pokemon to catch it. You're just, trying to get the ball in the circle. And that's what people didn't like from it is, where is my battling the Pokemon to catch it? Where am I, I want to weaken it to catch it. Whilst a lot of people are like, oh, this is exactly how I catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Great.
Yeah.
This is really fun. This is a good game. I think for accessibility, I think you were spot on. I think it helped get it into the hands of people that normally wouldn't be playing a Pokemon game and maybe even jumped into the brand as a result. So that's why I think, hopefully Johto and Sinnoh and what I feel like that product is doing, it's to the parents to give to their kids. So, hey, I played Red and Blue, he's Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah.
This is what I played basically.
It's like what you're playing on your phone.
Yeah.
Like you're revisiting it. Yeah.
And then same thing's going to happen with Johto. So the next generation that, that we're in the silver and gold era that have kids now, they're like, hey, this is what I played. So I think it's really, really smart going down through that.
They know what they do when they tap in on that nostalgic factor as well with the, even back to the EX cards as well. They'll retouch on those nostalgic. Sometimes they'll do them to hell and back, like the shinies and stuff now.
Yeah.
But like they do touch on those old school nostalgic factors for, we have kids now. Like a lot of the 30, almost 30.
Spot on, exactly right.
So it's like, oh, here you go. I don't have kids, but like if I did, I'd be like,
yeah, exactly right.
Pokemon.
I'm the big kid at the moment, so I don't have kids.
Exactly,
so, everyone always asks, I'm like, well, I mean, look at all the Lego around the house. Look at all the cards around the house,
Yep. I walked past as I was coming back yesterday in Brisbane Airport. They have a Lego store there, the domestic terminal.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, I might go have a look at Lego. And then I remember my mate turned to me, he's like, Darcy, you don't need another hobby. I'm like, oh, you're right, I don't.
yeah, dude, it's so bad, especially since, I've got, Lego and then trading cards, they're probably the two biggest things that cost me. And then I do like to collect shoes as well. So I've got a little bit of a shoe collection
market as well. I saw you get the Jordans on,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got so on stream actually, I've got a little bit of an acrylic display behind me with some kicks that I keep, but I actually wear all mine, most of them. 99% of my shoes all get worn. They go back into the acrylic case after they get a little polish up. But yeah, look, I mean, outside of that, Lego is very, very sucks you in very quickly. There's a lot, and there's so much that I want to build at home. I still haven't built. I've got the massive Millennium Falcon that's a meter and a half, dude.
Yep.
That's still sitting in the box. Like one day I want to take some time off work and then probably stream that as well and just go, all right, let's do the full builds of this massive.
I'm so ignorant to the Lego scene. How much did that set you back for a 1.2 meter like Millennium Falcon?
$1,200.
Yeah, right. I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
I think it is too. So it's considered an ultimate collector's series. So they've got a whole bunch of massive products that build out really well, but are highly detailed.
Yeah. Imagine the R&D that are going to that.
And that's exactly right. So Lego's R&D is through the roof, dude. Right. So I know you guys here and through our personal chats over the years, but you guys spend a lot of time on R&D, and that's something I really, really, really appreciate.
Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, I mean, I see Lego with all the intricacies, and you see it created. If you've never watched Lego Masters or you've never watched,
I watched Lego Masters.
Yeah. So especially with Hamish, So but just going through all that and seeing them come to the design and go through all that process, it's got a lot of R&D. They're so highly detailed. I've got one of my favorite pieces is actually the original Nintendo Entertainment System. So because my mum used to play it all the time. So it's the old school grey box with the black stripe, the OG Nintendo. So you can rebuild it in Lego with a functioning disk drive. So you can actually create a disc,
sick.
you put it in there, you push it down, you close the lid. But even further, it's got a screen on it as well. So it's a little TV screen.
That's rad.
That looks like the old screen, and a little winding wheel on the side. And as you wind the wheel, you have Mario moving up and down, jumping onto the boxes, hitting things out of out of the little gold question mark. I have a little flower that's popped out of it. And you're just winding a little wheel, and someone has gone through to create everything's out of Lego. This rotating thing, a little piece that rotates inside there and just shows you this moving Mario. It's just so well done.
That's sick.
And not overly expensive. It's probably a $200-$300 product.
That's really reasonable for something that would take that much
insane
work.
And they've got a little to make it even crazier. They've got a little Easter egg in there. You pull a little part of the Nintendo away, and they've drawn the full very first map of Mario.
Oh, cool.
Within there. And it's all made out of little Lego. And you're building it while you're actually building it during the build, and you don't know the way that they've got you to do it. They're just getting you to put green bits.
So it's genuinely an Easter egg. That's sick.
So it's genuinely an Easter egg. So, Lego is really exciting as well, right?
Yeah.
So, but, going back to nostalgia, as you said, Pokemon know how to do nostalgia really well. The 25th celebrations, I think they did really, really well.
Yes.
I think Magic doing the Magic 30th celebration didn't do that well. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
They did okay. They're like, oh, everybody loves base set. Yeah, whether it's you're talking about Pokemon, you're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, you're talking about whatever product we're talking about, everybody loves the original sets. That's what got us into it. That's nostalgia. And when you do have an anniversary, celebrate it. Pokemon did. Here's the base set Charizard. Here's the first time we saw every Pokemon. This is you'll get the card reprinted with a nice stamp on it saying it's 25th, right? They're like, here, relive your nostalgia. Here's the very first Gold Star Umbreon, all these really cool things. Magic are like, yes, we know you guys want all this stuff, and we'll give it to you. Here's some booster packs that we've made up with all the original cards that you love, like the Blue Lotus and all that jazz. But we're going to charge you $1,000 for 4 packs, $1,000 USD. $1,000 for 4 packs.
Yeah, no.
So you're essentially, they're like, okay, it's like someone sat in the exec room or someone product design and like, what are people paying for base set packs now? Oh, $2,000 a base set pack. All right, so we can make a lot of money off this one. Base set packs are selling. So this is essentially like Pokemon going, hey, we're going to reprint it. This costs, we can sell this at $7 and still be happily making money. But you know what, guys? We've seen that you're paying $1,000 for base set packs. So we're going to charge you $1,000 for a base set pack.
Particularly with the Umbreon Gold Star as well, because that was Pop 5.
Yeah, Pop Series 5.
Yeah. So like just making that accessible, like obviously it's not to the same rarity, but it's still the same pretty pictures.
Yeah. I love it.
And it's accessible. So I couldn't imagine paying, $10, like $1,000 for 4 packs.
Yeah.
in a modern day era set, and I would just feel I would feel robbed.
Yeah, and
it's just like they're cardboard. You know how much they print them for. It's literally they are in the business of printing money. They print money. It's just on cardboard. They just say, yep, cool, bang, 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 bang. Oh, we'll slap a limited X amount on this. It's like some of the tournaments that you know Dragon Ball do it, like in the sense of the way they do the tournaments with the metal cards. It's like the prizes aren't massive. We're not giving you massive cash prizes, but we're going to give you 1 out of like
crazy.
12 sort of thing. 1 out of 16 or maybe something like that. And they're cool, but like you win them, you earn them sort of thing. It's not like they're paying for it. On the secondary market, you pay for it. And I've been so close to a couple of those Vegeta cards for so long.
Oh my God. So they've been killing me, like that Goku, that metal Goku as well. Or even the metal Goku Freezer.
They literally just print the money as a prize card. Like that's how they do it. They don't give you a cash prize, but they print it in the sense of a highly valuable collectible. So I rate it smart in that sense as a win thing. Like you have to be involved with that community. You have to win it. You have to be invested. You have to invest the time to learn how to play this and be good at playing it to win this. And therefore that's justifiable. But printing something, for unlimited capacity and selling it for an extortionate amount of money is a little bit, doesn't sit well with me. No, it's an ethical contradiction for me. I think.
I mean, I'm not a Magic player. I'm not a Magic collector. I'm not in the Magic scene.
I'm not at all.
Yeah. I just know that Blue Lotus is like their Charizard. But I just seeing that and being in the TCG space, that kind of meant, okay, that's not a good taste. It's not a good feeling. And people are pretty upset. Then you got Yu-Gi-Oh! Who have actually gone and done it really well. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Are reprinting for their anniversary. I think it's 30th anniversary as well, or 25th. They're reprinting the very first 6 sets as booster boxes. So you can go buy Legend of Blue Eyes, the very, that set that everyone went crazy about, in Unlimited. Okay, so first edition still stupidly expensive, $200,000 for a Legend of Blue Eyes. I think its last case sold for $500,000 or something.
Wow.
Of first edition lob. But this is Unlimited. You'll get it they're selling it at retail price. You're gonna get base set Unlimited to just rip through and chase that Blue Eyes White Dragon, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun. Like I can't wait to get a case of it and just rip it and try and hit that Blue Eyes White Dragon just for fun, because it's good anime. It's cool. It's old school, and I want to do it, right? So
I'll be sure to watch the stream when it comes out. Then.
Yeah.
That's sick. On the topic of your streams though, with Twitch being bought out by Amazon now, obviously you're not on the partner network at the moment, right? But obviously you'd have your input as a streamer and a contributor to that scene. They've obviously gone from 70-30 to 50-50.
Yep.
How does that make you feel?
Look, I know that Twitch is not a platform that you can that is monetized. That you're not there for money, because technically you can make a lot more off. I mean, not technically, you can make a lot more on YouTube. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It's in black and white. You get paid 70-30 split. Right now as an affiliate, I would only get, say the 40, I probably get 40% as my split. And as a partner, it goes up by 10%. Bezos kind of looked at it, from my understanding, he's looked at it and going, right, this is not making me money. Why do I have this, right? So it's now, he's trying to monetize it and get it to make money. For me, I need Twitch. I think it's the only platform out there that interacts with the viewers well. I can't, YouTube's nowhere near there yet. While YouTube's a great platform for streaming, the fact that you can stream at 4K off the bat, that is brilliant. They've got really good technology behind that, but the engagement with chat is almost non-existent. And that's what I love. You're there and you're speaking to people, you're seeing their reactions in chat. In my imagination, I'm seeing them actually reacting. Plus, you got all these little things that integrate with Twitch that allow us to add more engagement in there. So a lot of these things aren't there yet in any of the other products. So, we've got quite a few bots that do a couple of things for us, games and ways for us to play different games to catch the Pokemon to win stuff and things like that. So just that engagement, getting people's input from chat as well. There's less latency between chat delay on Twitch. There's all these things to get voting. I can get them to draw something. There's just all these different things to be able to engage with chat, and you just don't have that on these other platforms. So business has to be profitable, right? So I don't think it's big greedy corporates trying to take money here. Or take more of the pie. I really think that it's balancing. And you've got to look at it like on the top end of town, you had 10 people earning quite a few $1 million per year off Twitch, and they were on contracts that had very little going back to Twitch. So, the biggest streamers had negotiated, very, very high percentages, and, the logic behind, I think Twitch saw, okay, well, we've got 200,000 subs per month. That's still a lot that we can generate, even if we are getting 5%, and if we are getting 2% at that point. But, that's kind of out the window now, and they're really focused on making sure that it's profitable. And I get that a business has to be profitable. Where I think that I'd like them to, just make sure that's done properly and not kill the product either, right? So, yes, right now I'm not leaving because it's the best product, but if you continue to, attack your creator base, who's going to be left to create content? And I think last thing I want to add to that is probably like the ad revenue's gone up significantly. Very significantly.
Okay.
So the ad revenue share is really good. Like right now, I'm very open with the community because it goes back into the community as well. And so right now, the ad revenue share it was almost about 40% of total income now. And that is massive. It's the equivalent of 85 subs,
Yeah.
So, and that is huge. Yeah. So it's not requiring anyone to pay anything now for the content.
It's also good for you because like with a small community too, like with TCG in Australia or smaller streamers, like sometimes you'll hit that plateau with the amount of subs that you can get. On YouTube anyway, like being subscribers and stuff and having that number of volume, I guess it makes a bit more sense to have that a little bit higher. Helps you out a little bit more. I don't mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you're spot on.
Yeah, I'm not a massive Twitch goer. I'm usually a YouTube person.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that would be sick. So, and as you say, like, a lot of these bigger streamers and stuff, like they will reinvest it or give it back.
Yes.
In the sense of giveaways or packs to open to continue to keep people entertained and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're obviously redirecting it in the right way to keep everybody engaged. And it sounds like it from what you do as well, you keep everybody very, 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 very engaged. So it's a really wholesome audience, a really tight knit audience, and a really loyal audience as well, which is cool. Yeah. Very, very pivotal part of the community, I think. Yeah.
No, thank you. So yeah, look, it's we'll see where we end up. I mean, we've got big plans for the next couple of years. We got the opportunity to rip a first edition Neo Genesis box last year.
Yeah.
Base set boxes. We've had a couple of first edition Team Rocket boxes. And I hope that kind of puts Australia on the map as well, because a lot of people overseas don't see us doing that down here. They don't know that we've got this massive community that enjoys this.
Yep. Yeah, and obviously, that I'm looking at the questions we've got written down for you, and we've already answered a couple into why you're sort of not moving over to YouTube, which is sick. It's because of the engagement and stuff. As a foundation as to why you started, is that coming back to sharing your knowledge, or does that come from another sort of, does it stem from a different part of you is why you started streaming, or is it just for...
Look, there's a couple of things that fed into it, but I definitely think it was a part of, I want to get the right information out there, right?
Yeah. So visiting back to like keeping everybody informed, keeping everybody happy, protecting community.
Yeah, as you said, there's a lot of gatekeeping, and I still say this happens today, and I hate saying this, but this happens with any product, right? So it's any collectible, anything that's got a value. There's FUD. So there's people that spread fear, uncertainty, and denial, right? And you see that happening in any product, that's got value, and it happens here where you get, there's some big Facebook pages and groups and things like that, and yet you might get people posting on there to try and get a movement going and things like that, and I just thought it's probably best to just keep people in the knowledge, because you can easily hide. Behind a Facebook post and things like that, you can hide. You don't really have anyone that's going to hold you accountable to that.
Particularly with all the non or ingenuine accounts.
Around now. Yeah, spot on.
So there's a lot of people that, it's not actually their Facebook account.
It's
just
exactly
some random one. That like, why do you have to hide behind a different account name? I mean, sometimes there's genuine ones. People are anxious. They don't want to be known for who they are, but generally it comes across as a little bit unusual or sinister. Yeah. And that's not to generalize and say that's for everybody's applicable to that, because I talked to quite a few people that have an account like that that are just lovely. Yeah.
Teachers, I know teachers like to have it
as well. So it makes sense in certain aspects.
Now look, and so it's easy hide there. I mean, as with a community or being part of a community like this, you're held accountable. Yeah. I'm there. You're going to see me in 2 days' time. So whatever I say today, it's recorded. and you can pull me up on it in 2 days' time. So that's the big thing. You know, you're not disappearing off. You're there, and you're held accountable for what you've said. You know, so to be able to be doing that for a few years and continue growing and have, you know, I mean, just the other day we were celebrating 24 month subscribers, people that have been subscribed to us for 24 months. Day one, as we call them. And I remember every single one of them, really. You know,
how many did you have that were 24 months?
We have had 12 people just hit their 24 months. So
12 people, that's fantastic.
All on the same day, because it must have been a day when I just hit affiliate, which is when they can first subscribe. So whoever had built up had all subscribed then. And when they came through on the last stream that we did, it was just like, you know, started the stream, we had someone come through in 24 months. I'm like, oh, geez, our first 24 months. And then half an hour later, someone just came through with another 24 months.
That's
and then
as
cool. They started popping in, they had their renewal pop up and they've shared it. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is a crazy day. So yeah, we ended up having so many 24 months come through. I'm like, and we realized these were our day oneers, you know?
So it was a few days ago.
Yeah. This was literally just a few days ago. So it was a good feeling, right? And then I look back and I'm like, you know, you see a lot on Twitch where it's almost like a revolving door of people, but we've got this community that's been there for 2 years, right?
Can you send me that list? I'd like to. We can send some stuff.
Oh wow!
Google's just talking in the background. We'll.
Magic. It's like my house.
But I'd be interested to, if with your permission and their permission, we'll just send them some stuff.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Yeah, just if they're all obviously card collectors, so just send them some stuff, because, you know, rewarding people in the community that are loyal and going to be around for a long time is quite good. Just spreading knowledge and stuff. And if you're giving them the knowledge, then I'm sure they're quite vocal and going to be out there spreading it to other people as well. So that's good.
No, awesome. Yeah, appreciate that.
On the topic of communities, so I know when we teed up this, because it's been in the works for a while, the whole podcasting thing has been in the works for ages, right? Now I know that we asked if the community had any questions for us.
Yes.
So ask away with them. We've got some written down here. So if you want to, you know, you can be the interview me.
So yes, and I think I actually also did briefly touch on this, which I forgot, and then I also sent it through as a question. So what goes into the R&D of Palms Off products?
A fair amount, particularly now. Now that we're, you know, getting a little bit bigger. It's not just a shed operation now, which is where I started. It's very humble beginnings. But sampling, resampling, looking at what's on the market, seeing how we can improve it, whether it be the price point or which is where we started originally. Was the price point, was like, right, cool, like let's offer this more premium product, right, at a cheaper price point. And it's funny, you still get people comparing some of our products to something that's like $160. It's like two very different beings, right? Like if we want to come out with a $160 product, you best believe that that's going to be way better.
Yeah, exactly right.
So like, but that primarily was our first one, was just hey, R&D is don't reinvent the wheel sort of thing. This works, let's do it. Let's add our own personal touch to it. And originally it was the outer bags, the binders, the first ones that came out. Our PSA sleeves were actually the first one, which we got our original packaging on TikTok. We released a reel for that. So you can see that very, very unusual and horribly designed packaging on TikTok.
I haven't seen it. I've got to see this.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Wild.
And the latest vlog.
And the latest vlog, proper backyard spec design.
Sick.
Oh, he's got it. He's coming over. Pass the baton.
This camera works. This one's over here for some reason.
Very good. Yeah. And that was primarily like, again, don't reinvent the wheel. How can you reinvent that anyway, apart from the tapering the sides? But that was what was already on the market anyway, or, you know, but people were charging $20 in America for something like that. And then people in Australia would have to ship it. So ours was to introduce it at a, you know, $7.50, $7.95 price point, with little to no shipping, right? So that's what we did for that. So it was mainly price, the binders came out, mainly price core items, and then it was with the bag, right? And that was just to add a little bit of personal flair, and that was, again, only supposed to be promotional, right? But we've just stuck with it.
Also, the dust bag was literally only meant to be for the first release.
Only supposed to be for promotional, and then we were just like, we stuck with it because people liked it. So we're like, you know, screw it, we'll keep it. We'll just cop the extra fee on the chin. And then even then we upgraded that because some of them were falling apart, right? So it's like, right, we got to find a better supplier for this, a better material, get it packaged in with the binder as well. We've touched on that with a previous podcast as well. And then as we move forward, and we're still making improvements today. So it's like no product is ever, it's always going to be room for improvement. And then of course with like bulk manufactured stuff, we have to keep an eye on like, defect rates and like we'll get a pack of sleeves that is like clouded and it's like, oh, why is this? Usually it's the first sort of few rolls off the reel and it's like, why is that the way it is? We have to go back to manufacturing and be like, hey, wait X amount of time before it comes off the roll. Otherwise we're getting this sort of thing. We don't have to be, we don't have an issue with sending replacements out to people, but I don't want that to be particularly the first impression with people as well. And at the end of the day, it happens everywhere. Mazda, cars, not good. Like cars break down, it's always going to happen.
TV, it arrives day in on arrival. I had to get it replaced.
It doesn't, something's faulty in the system. It's always going to happen, but it's mitigating that and keeping that down to a minimum. But the R&D, like some of the products that we're coming out with very, very soon, I can probably bring some out. We'll start with this one. A new deck box range. We jacked up the packaging a little bit. R&D is like, it's how it's presented to you as well, right? So it's like, the sickest product. And if it's not presented in a good way, so I've got Nick over here. He makes things look pretty, except for me. But yeah, but there's the way you present the product. Is in my opinion one of the top things. But you can't present a product really, really well, have high expectations, and open it and be like, So
all the money was spent on packaging and not the products.
So the first thing we'll do is we'll find a product that's out or something that we like the concepts. Look at your deck box, you can come up with a bunch of different iterations of it. We've come out with a basic one. It's a Genesis deck box, and we will find something comparable on the market or something that serves the same function as that, and we'll be like, where can this be better? Whether it be materials or the closure mechanics or something like that, and then we'll look at the RRP and be like, what can we add on to that to keep everybody happy? Like us selling it to direct to consumer, being able to sell it to a wholesale account so they can earn a half decent margin as well to remain in business. So we'll look at those particular points and then we'll start sampling out stuff. And now we're sampling products like a lot before we get it right. Some of them have been quite like pushed through. We've got them right for the most part. Just a lot of like improvement on particular aspects. I don't want to be coming out with the same product again, we're here to service like Australians, right? So if I come out with something that is a basic 100+ deck box that's made out of chip internal material and there's the same sort of outer leather and I sell it at the same amount of money, but it's this EU company that's making it. I've added no value to this product.
Spot on.
And it's like, I don't want to be then undercutting this product and selling it for 20. And then, yes, it's the same product, but I could add a lot more and people could get a lot more for the same price and they're still going to pick it most of the time.
So what have you done with the deck box?
Glad you asked.
And by the way, with the tapered edges on the bags, I think a lot of people these days take that for granted. They probably don't even remember the square edge bags that we
out the side.
Oh my God, it just sits there flapping off the edge. It was disgusting.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So so we've gone with what we've trademarked as a nitrocore. So it's like a very like hard 3D printed inner. So the actual core of the deck box, we've actually had one where I probably won't show on camera, we obliterated the thing, but we tested how much force we had to apply to the deck box to actually break the thing. It was a lot.
I figured. With some of the stories we'll talk about earlier.
So we're gonna, it's just strong, whereas a lot of other ones on the market will be chip inner, or it's basically just a thick cardboard essentially. If you rip them open and have a look at them, so they will just break. Really, really strong magnets, like all of our stuff.
That was actually, the back was actually a magnet, right?
So
I didn't realize it was that strong of a magnet that before I thought it just opened that much, right?
So that's they're very, very strong magnets, like everything we use. And a little buckling system. Obviously the nice green Thumbs Off Gaming internal logo, and we have got like that, just basically all this stuff that we've added to it. But we're selling at the same price point. So it's just in our minds, a better product for the same price that has all these bells and whistles and stuff, and we're happy with it. We're stoked with it. It's very basic, but
it does the job better.
We can't like release 50 different designs all in one, so we're going to see how this goes, and then if it does well, then we're just going to slowly start trickling out with more and more player series stuff.
That'd be awesome,
because we were mainly on the collectors, but basically improving products, making them feel better, making them look better, presenting them in a nicer way, and adding value instead of not and making it cheaper. Just competing on price is not what we're about.
Yep.
So yeah.
So how long did that take, say, in R&D? Just out of curiosity.
God, maybe like 6 months. Yeah.
Yep. So it's not just it doesn't just get thought up and then made and then that's it.
No, we used to try and do that, and then you keep running into problems, or it's just like, all right, cool. Well, not problems per se, but elements of improvement.
Yeah.
So we're really, this year particularly, we're really focusing on a big, like, as Nick would say, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. That's his favorite saying. He's just sitting there, just like, oh, please,
The only reason why I bring up the R&D is I just remember a time when I wanted these BGS bags, the thick bags, and I've been getting them because you guys include them with the thank you cards, and I'm like, these are awesome. These are BGS thick bags, but you guys don't sell them. And it's like, well, you're like, well, it didn't pass our R&D. I wasn't happy with the how they came out, and I'm like, but I love them. They work for me. But you're like, well, you found a high error rate with them.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, you didn't want to risk putting out a product which had such high error rate.
Because we've got heaps of them, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll give you a case.
Yeah.
But like, we found that like, you're a very experienced collector. Like, you put cards in sleeves all the time, and people might be out there thinking, like, watching the podcast, being like, how hard is it to put something in a sleeve? But I promise you, the BGS corners, the back rear corners, right? They taper down like a little bit of a pyramid. They're quite sharp.
They're very sharp.
And the plastic is a little bit different. There's orientated poly. I can't remember the actual name of the chemical compound, but it's structured differently, so it stretches instead of tears, and they're both not good anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want it to tear. So when you actually insert it, if you catch an edge on that and you're not coming in completely plumb with
Spot on.
it will stretch the plastic and then rip. And then that's one of our biggest feedback for Perfect Fits ones is, it splits down the side. I'm like, yeah, you've got to make sure you insert it plumb as. So if you couple a split risk with like a catching of it and then stretching it or potentially damaging a card, it's like, I don't want to be liable for someone damage their card putting it in a Perfect Fit sleeve. So that's one of the things. It's just a usability point. It works. They're fantastic for people that do it all the time. But for those that don't, maybe not, So that was the reason behind why we cancelled that. But we might tweak it a little bit more and come out with it another stage.
Yeah, no, look, I thought that's awesome. And the reason why that just resonates with me is most companies you'd speak to that they would just push that product out.
So we had touching back onto another R&D one where a company tried it before, and again we made continuing improvements on our PSA pages. So people had done that before. But we had to put steel eyelets.
I was about to say that the biggest difference is yours don't break or fall apart in the binder because of those steel eyelets.
So we tested the first ones and they would just crack. And you'd have to replace them. But with the steel eyelets, I don't do that. With first batch, the steel eyelets would come a little bit loose, a bit too easy. So they're a little bit more secure now, but we're still trying to improve that process whilst also keeping the price down. A lot of people have said to me, you come out with like super premium PSA pages. I'm like, I could do something like an acrylic page. But man, it'll cost you like $30 a page. So it's like,
that's pretty epic.
Acrylic
pages,
it'd be sick. It would. But you got to think, how thick would that binder be? And then like, usability. And someone was like, when are you going to come out with a top loader binder that's like, and this is not me, ripping on saying it's a stupid idea or anything like that. It's just the things that you don't think about either. So, when are you going to come out with a top loader binder that holds like 500 top loaders? I'm like, nah.
I think
it can't be done.
I think someone actually did a post recently on Facebook going, hey guys, I need one that fits this many. And then someone's like, here's the palms off one. He's like, no, I've already sussed that out. So it might have been the same person.
Maybe. 500 is too much. Yeah. Like
they want something like this big.
Yeah, it's like that thick. It's unreasonable. And like for the amount of time you would take to produce that, check it off, sign off on it, make sure it works. 5 a year. And then you sell 5 a year and it's like, cool, we'll never make this money back sort of thing. At the end of the day, we're a business. I'd love to be able to please everybody, but unfortunately it's just not a reality. But we can always make improvements. So we put up a poll for the top loader binder. So we'll be, coming out, originally we weren't going to be doing 2 different top loader binders, but it was such a tough split that we're just like, looks like we're doing 2 top loader binders, like two different ones for essentially two different purposes. Like our current one is matte finish. The pages come out a little bit weird when you open it because of the structure and integrity of the pages and stuff, and the material.
Yep.
But that was for scratch resistance, right?
Correct. Yes, we spoke about that.
And then people really want clear ones, and it's like, we didn't do it because of this reason, but people still really want it. Like, so we'll do it, but we, and we were going to be like, oh, if clear wins, we'll just do clear, or if matte wins, we'll just do matte. And it was like 56-44 or something like that. Okay. So it's just like, all right, looks like we're doing both. So
Look, I know we had that divide in our community. A lot of the feedback was we want clear, and then we'd spoken about it, and you explained why, and then the material feels really good though in the.
You just lose. Unfortunately, you just lose some of those refractive elements of those hollows and stuff, which I totally get. But we more so designed it for trade days rather than personal admiration of cards, sort of thing, just to carry it and protect your cards and make it easily to flick through instead of going through a box.
Spot on.
Like, look, we'll do it. We'll just do a clear one as well.
Let's
do it. Whatever.
So, look, I mean, I think they probably do have two uses. If you're going to be taking in and out lots, then you probably want to use the matte one. If it's being interchanged often, but if it's just going in the once for display purposes, then I'd probably lean towards the clear one for my purposes there.
And that's the best sort of feedback we get as well. Like R&D that comes to our R&D as well is like feedback's awesome. I love the people that can give critical feedback.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. You approve it. I don't necessarily like the people that will just be like, oh, it's shit. I don't like it. It's like, why? Like, tell me why. Tell me how I can make it better, and I'll make it better. Like, I'm here because everybody wanted a solution to particular problems we had in supply and demand and price point issues and all that sort of stuff. So I am here. I am a collector. It's not like I'm here just to make a heap of money. I don't take much money at all out of this business at all. Like I just keep. That's why we keep coming up with more products. As more products keep coming out, where does that money come from? It's just all going back into it, sort of thing. It's trying to feed it. So feed the machine and try to get it working and trying to make everybody happy. So it's like those, tell me how we can improve them. You sure as we'll do it, sort of thing. Like we're on it straight away. We're going to be messaging, manufacturing, be like, how can we fix this?
A little hole in the binder so you can put the little tag on the end.
We haven't even emphasized that. Like that's we should. I was talking to Nick about this earlier today. We came out with it and we haven't really.
I told someone about it the other day. They're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
so we haven't marketed it. So people were like, "I want to label on my binder so I can like read what's in it." I'm like, oh, I don't want to be putting like one of those plastic pockets on a binder where you put a little bit of paper and they look like horrible. Like it's supposed to be like look nice on a product. Yep. So we just redesigned our zip so it has a little hole in it. So we've got to come out with tags now. Like it's still like pretty much like a dog tag that you can just attach to your binder. So it doesn't actually mess with the structural integrity and the visual look of the binder. But yeah, it has an easy labeling system to it, I guess. So that's just points of improvement. You can always get better, and you can always rejig how something's designed to make it more viable.
Dude, no, it's epic, and I think that we can tell in the products. I mean, the products are good, and I said to you, the reason why I was drawn to it was price point was better. It's local, and the actual products are better. I mean. And this is one thing that blows my mind. I complain about, some other top loaders out there where, you pull them out, they've got sharp edges, they're not made properly. And this is what's meant to be, the leading product supposedly. And it's just not there. It's not there it doesn't compete from a price point. It doesn't compete from a quality standpoint.
The only thing like we will get compared to is more higher price point product lines. So like a lot of people compare the top loader to like a premium iteration of a product line, and they're two different price points. It's like a $9 or $6 sort of thing. That's a big difference. It might be $3 I might seem, but on a percentile, it's a lot. So it's like, of course, like yes, it's probably going to be a touch better, but for the equivalent product, it's going to be the same, if not better. And if it's not, unfortunately, you've probably got something that is maybe a little bit defective. And again, coming back to like the point of like, I can't control all of that. I can't hand inspect every sleeve that comes out of the door. But we will always rectify it. We'll always, and we don't charge post unless it's like as a really like obscure reason or something like that. Then it'll be like, just send it back and we'll just send you a new one. We'll always give return labels and be quite upfront with it, and then we'll always take pictures of it and we catalog that, and we create like error rates, and we quite meticulous. Nick particularly is quite meticulous with it, which I can appreciate to a high degree. So feedback's really, really important. So I don't get offended easily.
Yeah.
So,
well, you've surrounded yourself with a really awesome team as well.
Yeah, we're all mates.
Right
like we've
people in the right
been
places.
mates since school. Like I didn't even go to their school. I knew Jack personally, and Jack introduced me to these guys. It's been fantastic. It's a really tight knit team. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets along. And even when we don't, it's very strictly like this doesn't impact our relationship. It's strictly like a business thing. How can not only the products work better, but how can we as a team work better as well? So it's growing really, really steadily. I'm very selective about who comes on board, and particularly if it's a friend, it's very much like, cool, whatever happens here stays here, and
this
you
is
know,
a
we're
line
all still a
drawn
happy sort of group of people. So it's good. I really, really enjoy it. I couldn't be happier with the people that we've got working here. Could bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah. No, you can tell.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah. Look, I mean, we kind of touched on this as well. Look, what determines making a product acceptable? How do you decide that it's fit for market? Quality wise.
Mm-hmm. So you want asking that now as well?
Yeah.
Basically, as long as it ticks the boxes, that the primary focus that we're after, and if there's any issues that we come into later down the track, then we see if we can improve on them as well. So we came out with the notion with the top letter binders that, hey, this is what we thought was going to be the best. And one issue we did come after when we got the sampling was the page was nice and flat when it came out of the sampling.
Yeah.
Now, when we found that after the bulk manufacturing process, sometimes when people open them, they're a little bit wavy, but that doesn't affect the product at all. It affects the sort of the visual representation, the unboxing experience. Yeah. So we want to fix that, and we've already figured out ways that we can counter that. And then you'll run into certain error rates with particular products as they come released. So some of those things you'll learn on the fly, but for those obvious things, it's just sample. I am very against, like, except for obviously binders. Even then we put our own spin on it. We're like, I think we were the first sort of company to put our logos right in the middle. Yep. Like really go bold with it sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And with the deck boxes, there's improvements there. It's not just a basic deck box. I don't like, people coming to me and be like, oh, I want this exact product from this exact brand. I'm like, I've got too much respect to do that. So it's like, if I'm going to do something that falls in that same category or a very similar product, it's going to be different to a certain capacity.
Yeah.
And some people don't like the big branding in the middle, which I get. Yep. I'm not a person that will go around kicking in a t-shirt that has Nike on it, even though I'm wearing Winder. But like, not a big T. I get it. Like, I totally get it. But there's a point of difference for us. Yep. So we've got something for them in the works. It's fine. Got you thought it as well. Yep. Listening to your feedback.
Yeah.
Anyway, any more questions? Sorry.
No. I think you've covered it absolutely perfectly. I mean, it really, we wanted to just, I think the community just wanted to understand why what sets your products apart from a quality perspective, what goes behind R&D, because they've heard me mention that, there's a fair bit of R&D that goes into every product that comes out here. And so they're like, okay, well, tell us a bit more about that. What is that? Is it just, you're just saying that, so I've told them, they're like, is it you just saying that, or what's the situation? So I think that's going to be really, really, really informative.
Yeah. It's just being responsive to feedback. We're still small enough to be hyper reactive to feedback.
Yep.
So and that's the biggest part about improving a brand or a quality of a product, because it's hard. If you grow so big, it's hard to then make all those changes.
Yeah.
If you do them now, no drama.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Ready to rock and roll.
So any feedback that you guys might have, hit us up at Palms Off through our Facebook, Instagram, or don't email us.
Yeah. I don't think many people do these days.
Just Instagram, Facebook, or if you know me, if you see me kicking around on Facebook, shoot me a message as well.
When's the next event?
As in like a card show event.
Yeah.
A hobby hangout.
Yep.
So we're doing that. We got 6 tables this year.
Yeah.
So should see you there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So that should be fun. And as for now, so any product improvements, just hit me up and let me know. But for now, one of our wholesale accounts, Cardbot, you might have seen them around. They do a bunch of vending machines and stuff.
Yeah.
Really lovely people that run it, know what they're doing. Fantastic, beautiful individuals. I've supplied us with a Box Lost Origins.
Let's go. Lost Origins. Let's find that Alt-Art Giratina.
Yes. Oh, that would be.
We were just talking about earlier how those vending machines are quite exciting. When we first saw one pop up, everyone in Discord we just went, "What's going on? Let us know when you get to there." People went driving out to go check it out, and it was really an exciting thing when that popped up. What was it, a year or so ago?
Yeah.
To be able to get a range of TCG into people through a vending machine, and it's now all over the country, right?
Yeah. It's so cool as well because I was in Eastland with my partner. I live out like Croydon area, Croydon North. I Christmas shopping with my partner.
Yeah.
And we were walking through, and she saw the vending machine. She's like, "Oh, like there's trading cards in that." And she walked up to me, she's like, "That's you." It was one of the people that stocked this because there's a few companies doing it, right? There's one in Ringwood, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool." Like, this is sick. Like I knew it was the brand. And I just didn't even catch that in my eye. And she just pointed it out as I'm walking past. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's us." And she's like, just blown away.
Yeah,
it's sick. And it's good to see your products in the vending machine as well. It's really wholesome.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I probably should have a picture for the socials. I'll probably do that next time. But yeah, it's a really cool concept. I mean, me and Jack were thinking about that years and years and years ago, and then we just obviously got a little bit sidetracked.
Yeah, well, I mean, this Palms Off became an incredible product. So
yeah. So obviously not looking at doing that now, but yeah. So yeah, hopefully find a Giratina in there. We're sporting. They should be out by the time we edit this and whip it all up. But we've got our tagged sleeves that we're coming out with, which are along something that's been on my list for about 3 years. That we're going to do to help you guys grade all your cards.
Yeah,
so it's going to be fantastic. So I'm keen as to get that on board and get some stuff graded if we like it.
Yeah. Super excited for these. As a breaker who's goes through the incredible amount of pull tabs that I've been going through, and it just adds time, right? And just putting that extra sticker, and then the amount of times that I lose the pull tabs. I'm looking around, I'm like, where have I put these pull tabs? Right? They end up under my keyboard or something. But I've got a little dispenser I've got for my sleeve, so this would be perfect.
A little tray.
Well, this is amazing. And
this was like just to iterate. This is like one of our sample packs as well. So there's going to be a couple little design changes and a couple little like material changes coming up with the new ones. But yeah, it's it may not look the same, but yeah, you're going to be getting it. So crack soap for us.
All right,
go for it. You can lead it.
Take the honours. Thank you.
If I were going to try to keep it all like in a spot, I just decided I'm going to take it out anyway.
All right, Lost Origins, another great set. I mean, they've really wrapped up Sword and Shield with some incredible sets. Lost Origins and Silver Tempest.
Yeah, they're strong sets to finish on. Giratina is like one of my favorite Pokemon.
Same dude. So especially the altered form, the floaty boy I call
Origin.
him. Origin. Sorry. Floaty boy. Floaty boy is my floaty boy. Yeah. Dude, I absolutely love it. And so it's funny because for me, I started to really like Giratina, I think, in 2015, 2016, probably when I was playing Pokemon Go, I think. Never really had that much of a, like, I thought it was cool, but I never really fell in love with it. And then I grinded so hard trying to get the shiny and really fell in love.
Sick. The blue and the teal.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I really fell in love, doing 1,000,001 raids for Giratina. And ever since then, I've just been collecting Giratina cards as well. So I loved it when they did this and the gold card and, just so much coming out with Giratina. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's fun. How do you want to do it? You can lead. You're more experienced open packs on lives.
Well, let's go half and see who hits, mate.
Cool beans.
Let's see who hits. But have you been ripping much?
Nah, not lately, unfortunately.
I saw some Dragon Ball 10th anniversary boxes down there.
We've got the 10th Annie stuff.
Those ones down there. Yeah. Did you rip some?
Yeah. Because they're the premium 5th anniversary ones from America.
Yes.
You get all 3 secret rares in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we already had all the secret rares out of the box. So.
Wow. We have to go through a whole case here with the Australian products.
Yeah, it was really disappointing. So no, we got them. So we only really had to open 2 each because Giratina straight off the bat.
Speaking of Giratina,
bang. So yeah, we were pretty lucky to get our hands on. We got a few boxes of them. We got maybe 30 boxes of them.
Nice.
But we're stoked with them.
So you're going to get that what is it? The Froku, sorry. They made the metal Froku.
Oh, I want it.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is so expensive.
Yeah. Some of them are pretty wild. Some of the like the event like cards, the cards that you win at the events are just fantastic. I've been fighting for so long not to buy particular ones of them.
Same with the One Piece Luffy winner that came out.
Yeah.
That's hit, what, over $1,500. And
Really?
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
All right, here we go. What do we got here? We got the Sleepy Pikachu. Love this one.
Cool.
And then was the Berserker V. Okay. So we got some...
It's really one of the best trainer arts you can get. It's the
Definitely.
best trainer art you can get, yeah. It's such a wholesome card.
It's so cute. They're
Yeah,
both
it's really
sleeping.
cute, yeah.
And then Pikachu's got the old foot in the face. Just reminds me of what my dog would do when
What type of dog you got?
Staffy.
Oh, a little ball.
Yeah.
Little bomb of a dog.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. He just bowls you along.
There's so much energy. Jack's parents have a Staffy. I remember every time I'd go around years ago to his place, or when he used to live with his parents, I used to know the sound of my car.
Yeah.
Because I'm like grown up with work dogs. Oh, nice.
There we go. V-Star.
So yeah, I grew up with work dogs. So like I'm used to revving them up a lot, and dogs love that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Particularly Staffies. So.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just
Kingdra, one of my favorite Pokemon. Love Kingdra.
The Sea Dragon.
Yeah. They used to have an MMO. They did Fire Red and Leaf Green as an online MMO once.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool.
That is absolutely epic.
And I used to be able to battle each other and stuff. I used to play it with a bunch of mates when I think it was just out of school, maybe just out of year 12, so it was 2013.
Okay.
Maybe it was 2012. And everybody was catching like Dragonites and stuff, and Kingdra outspeeds it by like 3 points, I think.
Dude.
I think it's 3. Don't quote me on that. So every time you used to battle people used to whip out their Dragonite. I just ice beam them straight away, and they're just like, God, Dragonite's the better Dragon. I'm like, arguably, yes.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
not with a 1v1 with an ice beam. So
that is brilliant. So with Scarlet and Violet coming out, it's interesting to see they're going to have 3 holos per pack.
Oh, really?
Three foil cards, sorry. 3 foil cards per pack. So I do believe that still refers to a reverse holo, although they did say that means now there's not going to be anything less than a rare for the foils. So might mean that we're only going to have rare reverses, or that'd be interesting. But I'm just excited for change, right? I'm excited for something new. It takes a while for obviously feedback to flow through. So
yeah, that's what we were talking about before. Yeah. Like the amount of time it takes to initiate changes when the company, like Pokemon, is massive.
Yep.
The amount of time it would take to initiate those changes, it's not something you can change overnight, or the next set sort of thing. Yep. These would be done well in advance, I feel. Well
in advance, yep, spot on. So, we're probably just starting to see any feedback that was shared through from the explosion, any feedback that came through from a couple of years ago, would probably only just start seeing that now. So, the Silver Borders, I think, is an interesting one. I know that's caused a bit of controversy, because I thought everyone was going to be happy, but no, they are not. There's some people out there that still want that like the yellow borders.
That's the thing. Like you're not going to be able to please everyone.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I wish you could, but you can't. So sometimes it's a bit hard. Good. But you can try.
Yeah, look. It's going to be interesting. Especially, and I've actually really enjoyed the game because there's a lot of cool Pokemon. Yo,
oh wow,
mate! I'm just pulling all the pictures. Left side is stacked so far into a Kyurem.
That's so good. Double.
Awesome back.
I got to Rotom. That's fantastic. 10 out of 10. How's it looking?
Yeah, it's actually really good. Really like this. Really like this card. Yeah, we'll look at the back. Actually, very clean.
Yeah,
very clean.
Really decent. The bottom corner. Yeah, it looks pretty damn good. Submit that.
Yeah. Man, I'm loving these sleeves. I can't wait to get them in my hands.
I'll have to send you a bunch of packs when they come in a couple of days. Very excited. One touches are coming.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Finally, every single size you can think of. Deck
Well,
boxes.
that's actually interesting about the one touches because we got someone in our community that makes 3D cards. And
That's
when
cool.
I showed her one touches and like the thicker ones, she's like, wait a minute, this is sick. And she's putting them in these one touches now and they look really, really good.
Chandelure. Very good.
Oh, nice. The Chandelure.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my other, top 10 Pokemon, I think, is Chandelure.
Yeah, nice. Very popular in, I don't know if it's viable anymore, very popular in competitive play.
Oh, really?
Or used to be anyway, to my knowledge, of my limited knowledge, when I used to be into that sort of stuff. Not a competitive online player anymore, but yeah. Not the card game. But
online. Yeah. I've got a friend that coaches both TCG and, well, not so much TCG, but the Pokemon Go and VGC. I always get that wrong. VGC, VCG.
Yep. I used to love playing that.
Yeah, look, I can't get into the,
Smoke on and stuff.
Dude, it's too hard. It's like doing EV training, IV training.
Well, it's easier now because they got the hyper training and stuff.
Yeah. I've seen that. So
way easier.
But it was just a lot that you had to learn and get across compared to the card game. In my opinion, it was a lot easier.
Card game's pretty easy to pick up. I used to play that online with Jack all the time. I used to go back to mine, have a couple of beers, and just like put the laptop on the stream it to the TV and just play it on TV.
Yep.
It's be great. It's on mobiles now.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Really like this artwork as well. Got them both just yelling. I mean, and that's the other thing they've really stepped up is the artwork. The quality is really nice now. We're not just getting basic.
Zorak V. Yeah, there's a lot more design elements.
I love the His One Zorak. I mean, look, someone yesterday said, last time I streamed, when I said, I'm like, I love that Pokemon. It's one of my favorite ones. Someone in chat goes, yeah, along with his other 100 favorite Pokemon. it is pretty, it does get like that. There is a lot on my list.
The alternate art from the high class box that just got released is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So good looking.
Yeah.
Such a good looking card.
With all that, like the hair becomes all this curvy, wavy lines on the artwork.
Old, like Japanese traditional artwork inspired, I feel. Like it's
so
fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
Like it just looks, it's such a lovely little artwork.
Dude, when I hit that for someone the other day, I'm like, this is incredible. I go, I don't care. This is literally one of my chases out of this set.
Zero to match. Very good. Put that with him.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, V-Star Universe has been insane. And obviously we got Crown Zenith in just a few days, end of this week.
How do you feel about that Pikachu promo now being in the Crown Zenith, right?
Yeah. So I think it's cool because it's a secret rare. It's something to chase. I would have loved to see it rarer, to be completely honest. It's 1 in 150 from only a 300 pack sample.
The recent stat, yeah.
Yeah, only a 300 pack sample
Small sample size, yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean, if it's 1 in 150, that is a little bit disappointing. You want it to be a real secret rare, like a really secret rare, like almost like a god rare, done in.
I find it's disappointing. Controversial topic, but I find it's disappointing when they do that in Japan. They limit the release number in the Japanese version. When it comes to English, it's just so well printed.
Yes.
I mean, I don't believe in paying having and limiting something to a super high degree, but I wish the rarity was a little bit more on that sort of more elusive factor.
Yeah. I just think it makes it a little bit more fun as well to chase it. It's meant to be the rarest card, but it's got the same rarity as something else.
Should be like the god rares for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it really should be. I love how Bandai have done that.
Such a cute art.
Oh, this one here with the fruit.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's an actual berry.
It's a Pecha berry.
Pecha berry. Okay, yep. All right, we got a card that's back to front here. Hopefully it's a good one.
Ooh, Radiant Steelix.
Radiant Steelix, into. Oh, okay.
Just a backwards Mr. Mime.
Yep, there we go.
Very good.
Yay.
Bag full of tricks.
Yeah, I was in my recovery, whilst I was recovering from the last couple of days, I was watching I was actually watching the episode where Reggie Gigas first made his appearance.
Yeah, right.
And because I actually I missed that one. So I was just redoing some episodes and very interesting. Oh, what do we got here? There we go. The Zorok V-Star.
Left side coming in clutch.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely killed it this time.
So I love all the texture.
But then you go pick up the Japanese V-Star and it's just got another layer of texture on it. I mean,
They go hard.
they do. And apparently it's patented to.
Orbeetle. VMAX.
There we go. Nice. Very cool art for a
There's just so much going on.
for a bug.
For a bug. Oh, and a Gudra.
Yeah, double
Gudra
hit
B.
back. Nice.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, like some of the artwork, they're coming in clutch with some of the designs. It's fantastic. Need more credit. It's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Great these, I don't reckon.
And so we've got we've got with the next set as well. So we've got the new holo, which is appearing on the EX cards. It's going to be like a starry holo.
Yeah, it was a bit of a throwback to older holo patterns.
Almost like wasn't
Again, hitting that
CP3. It was around XY. There was some Japanese sets that were coming out with the same starry pattern.
Yeah, cool.
I think it was best of XY.
Yep.
I mean, mainland China coming out with Pokemon TCG now. That's huge.
Yeah.
The first official release.
I reckon it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be massive.
They had to add extra security features on all the cards due to counterfeiting.
Oh yeah.
So they've got every single card has this engraved Pokemon logo stamp. Every higher rarity, every double rare or higher.
Yeah.
And it looks really, really cool.
That's wild.
But yeah, it's wild that they, different regions have had to go and do that. So
yeah, different.
Mate, it was a good box.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Good box. No alt art this time, but
well, double Pikachu's.
Yes, yeah. Well, it almost came with a bit of a theme, right? So we had the two Pikachu's come out. We had the two Zoroks. Do we have two Zoroks?
Yeah. Mine's kicking around here somewhere. Yeah, there he is.
There he is. Yeah, sweet. So, no, damn, it was a good box. And again, I love Lost Origins. I think Lost Origins, Silver Tempest.
I was hyped for it when it came out.
Yeah, it was Giratina, dude.
Yeah.
I opened 24 boxes of the Japanese trying to hit that Giratina alt art. My mate, he hits it. He gets 2 boxes, and he hits it straight away. Both of them back to back Giratina alt arts. He sends me a video of him just laughing. He's opening up his binder. His palms off binder. He's got his little 4-pocket binder. He's showing me. He's like, "Look, I got it." And then he turns the page and he's like, "Nah!" He just starts cackling like a witch. So yeah, but check him out as well on Twitch. OKJLove, absolute legend. But just he always has good luck. Always has good luck. That guy with his Japanese. But Eddie, he can actually read Japanese too. So he actually, as he goes through it, he's reading every single card.
Fantastic.
So that's pretty cool to have. But mate, that was good fun.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks for coming on.
Mate, thank you for having us.
I appreciate it, and thanks for always being essentially on call for the boys. I love it.
Anytime, I'll pop in.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for joining us again. It was awesome. Always good ripping packs. Shameless plug for us. If you need any of your stuff, puzzleofgaming.com.au or .com. It'll redirect you anyway. So it doesn't matter. We bought both domains. New products coming out if they're not already out. Deck boxes, different sleeves, one touches, new binder iteration as well, which we'll won't show on camera. I've always shown that before, but so keen for that. Do you have any plugs of yourself?
Hey, look, thank you for having us. If you want to jump in, check us out, twitch.tv/anstar_. Also discord.gg/cardstars.
Fantastic. And if there's anybody that you guys would like to see on in the future, name drop them below, and we'll get on it, I guess. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks,
pleasure always.
Done. Done.
Thanks.
Done. Do we redo that fist bump?
Yeah.
Should we just redo it?
Yeah, can do that. Well, thanks for coming in and joining us. We'll do it again. Thanks for coming in and joining us for another Palms Off Gaming podcast. Pleasure to see you around at the next few events, I guess.
Appreciate it.
And just in general, I reckon we'll probably catch up for a few beers every now and again.
Done. Take care, mate.
Thanks, you, dude. Cheers.